What's going on YouTube? It's Bella and Jay back again with another video. Before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to hit that bell for post notification. That way the next time we drop some fire content, fire content, you'll be the first to get it.
You'll be the first to get it.
Without further ado. You're gonna do that every time, aren't you?
I can do whatever, right?
I know.
Because guess what? I believe in me. I can do anything. I can fly right now.
We're gonna do a special thing. We have a guest calling in, and we're gonna do random questions. So our guest is gonna call in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have them ask us a question, and we're gonna do impromptu, on the spot responses from Bella and Jay podcast. Caller, you on the air. State your name and your question.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and my question for you guys is, how do you build and sustain a healthy relationship?
Interesting. You want to attack that first?
So is this, when you building and trying to grow a healthy relationship, who is it with, like in reference to?
Well, not just with anyone, but I was talking about like a significant other.
So I feel like first it should be, okay, I feel like when getting into a relationship or trying to start a relationship, we as, people have to make sure that we're healed and all our burdens are kind of like left over to the side. Like we can't bring our burdens into a relationship or our unhealed wounds, because sometimes we can pour that or project that onto the next person that we're dealing with, and it can make the relationship go south before even starting. The next thing I would say, communication. Like if y'all are open and honest with each other to comprehend whatever y'all are communicating, then they can help you, set a strong foundation right there. And then like being able to trust one another on top of that. And those are just a little, a couple keys right there to just to start with the foundation of it.
Yeah, I believe that entering into a relationship, most definitely what Bella just said about healing from wounds, from previous wounds. Like, don't get me wrong, it is possible to enter into a relationship. It's very seldom that it happens, and it's a promising relationship or positive relationship or connection with someone if you enter into it before you've healed. But mostly you would want to heal first before you enter into that relationship. Secondly, I always preach placing God first,
right,
and loving selflessly.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because if you can love selflessly, then every morning when you wake up, you're thinking about that other person that's in your life.
Right.
You're thanking God for that person, and then you're always thinking about the things that they want and the things that they need, so that you could try to provide those things for that person. Right. And if your partner is doing the same for you, you'll never have to think selflessly about yourself or be selfish with what you want, because your partner is providing these things for you, or your partner is telling you, hey, go ahead and get that for yourself right now because you deserve it. Does that make sense?
Right, yes.
And so now you're lacking in the selfish department because you're always putting your partner first. And I think that's a key. And then also touching on what Bella said, I created this equation in my mind that states that communication minus comprehension equals confusion. And if you're confused with your partner, it's just like the world kind of says, what's misunderstood turns into fear.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
What's understood don't have to be explained.
Yes, what's understood don't have to be explained, but also something that you don't understand, you fear. Something that you fear, you attack and destroy.
Okay.
So with that being said, for us to lead in a proper context, we have to communicate with each other, but we have to open both of our ears and be willing to comprehend what a person is telling us and have a sense of empathy and sympathy about what they're feeling. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So,
Do you have any other questions or any like? Do you want to
explain something about a relationship that you might be going through.
Well, I had a previous relationship before this. I'm currently not in it, but it was very toxic, and I agree on some of the things you guys were saying. Just love yourself, because I did love the other person more than myself. So right now I am working on loving myself and just putting me first before someone else, and also healing, because yes, I have had trauma in the past, and I took that out on the person that I was with. So yeah, definitely agree on that. I took something from this, most definitely.
So
I appreciate you guys' feedback.
I want to make sure you realize that you cannot love somebody else if you don't love yourself. You first have to love you and know how to love you, because how can you love somebody else if you don't even know how to love you? Make sense?
Yes.
And also, to add on to that, if you're saying to yourself that, like, for instance, I'm telling you, you love selflessly, meaning you are giving all of your love to that person. If that person's not matching your energy,
Right.
then you can't give them all of you like that.
Right. You can never put somebody else before you, especially if they're not doing the same, because then you're loving them more than you're loving yourself. You're putting their needs before yours, and they're not meshing.
Elevating you to the
with
same
it.
level.
Y'all are supposed to be 100, meaning they put 100 in, you put 100 in. And anytime anything is toxic, then it's not for you, because toxicity brings about trauma and needing to heal from it as well.
And it opens up old wounds that you might have experienced, and it might trigger you to react and respond the way you once responded with an ex flame or whatever. So keep those things in mind. If as long as you keep those things in mind, if you're spiritual, pray, do what you got to do to make sure that you're on the proper path.
Right.
And lead with positivity no matter what you do. Get negative people from around you, because even when you're in a relationship, negativity could attack you outside of the relationship, which will bring your vibrations down, your energy down, your spirits down, and then you'll go home and attack your partner and not know why you're attacking your partner.
Other people around you. It's good to always think positive and always be positive, even when you're feeling down and feeling low or feeling depressed. Still think positive, because people don't realize thinking negative all the time or think about negativity can manifest it into your life. You got to remain positive at all times, even when it seems dark and bad or you seem depressed. You got to figure out a way to lift yourself up. You got to pray daily and make sure you put God first, then yourself, and the needs that need to come down. You know, you got to make sure you set boundaries for yourself on a daily, and don't let anybody cross those boundaries.
Most definitely.
So
I also have another question now.
Okay.
So I also struggle with being judged and fear of thinking about other people, what they're going to think about me. That's what I struggle with. So how would you deal with other people and not caring about what they say about you?
So honestly, this is the thing, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like even adults, like all of us, it has been some point in our life where we thought or cared about what other people think. But you have to build yourself up to only worry about you and to do what's best for you, because throughout life, if you constantly worry about what other people think, it's gonna dictate what you need to do for you. Because if, say you're supposed to be a doctor, right? And somebody else is telling you that you can't, then you're not gonna strive to be a doctor because you worried about what other people think or them saying that you can't. Sometimes it's best to not even care. Like, okay, so what somebody else think about you is not your business. Makes sense? That's their business. That's how they feel. It ain't your business. So you shouldn't even want to know. You shouldn't even care. And you got to keep negative people and messy people out your life. If somebody keep coming to you talking about somebody said something about you, they're not your friend anyway. Because if they talking about you or telling you what somebody else said or talking about somebody else, then guess what? That's not going to do you any good, and that's not for you. That's your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Setting boundaries.
Right.
With healing, it's certain things that you can't be around.
So ultimately, just not caring what somebody, if someone that's in your inner circle is not giving you the positive energy that you're looking for, like surrounding yourself with like-minded people, if you find yourself looking at somebody and feeling a bad vibe every time they come around because they're always talking bad about someone or about a situation that they're placed in, then that's that vibe that you want to get away from. And you don't necessarily have to be like, hey man, you negative, I'm gonna get away from you. You can just be like, all right man, I gotta go because I'm about to go and take care of some business real quick. And then you just limit your involvement with that person.
Right.
So did that help you out a little bit as far as like processing it in your mind?
Yes, most definitely.
All right.
I definitely agree on that.
Awesome. Yeah, just keep positivity around you at all times and you should be good to go.
And don't be a trash can for other people's problems.
Right.
Yeah, that's that gossip nature, you know.
Yeah.
All right, caller. Well, once again,
We thank you and appreciate you for calling in with your question. And we're gonna let you go.
You too.
Remember that you can always call this number at any time, or if you have any other questions, we're here for you. So, you know, keep in touch.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
with that being said, another person, satisfied customer, call in. If you need advice, you need coaching, if you need guidance, mentorship on anything, description below, we have our emails in it, and you can contact us, ask us what you want to know in there.
Right.
We'll send you an email back, and you can contact us. And if you want to do this on the podcast, then just let us know.
You can also be our next caller.
In the meantime, in between time, you do your thing, and we'll do mine.
In the meantime, in between time, we at this beat.
The Gentile shuck and jive for that almighty power of the dollar block. LeBron to Iguodala, I'm a scholar, I don't tolerate foolishness. Let the Thule spit, Ruger rip through you Judases. You fooling, I ain't new to this. In 4 bars, I can make you a believer. Comparisons to Cole and Lamar without the sativa. You swear I'm from the Mecca, the way I'm spitting this ether, like I'm QB in the game, throwing hollow tips at receivers. Illuminate.